disciples left for Galilee, going to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. All right, Mountain family, I think you just missed the shout cue. All right, let's go back and let's read it again. Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the mountain where Jesus had told them to go. Well, mountain is a place of elevation. Okay, let's read it again. Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the place of elevation where Jesus had told them to go. Well, if I'm going to be elevated, that means it's easier for people to see me. Okay, let's read it again. Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the place of being seen where Jesus had told them to go. Well, if Jesus had told me to go where I can easily be seen, that means he's putting me on display. Okay, let's read it again. Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the mountain, no, not the mountain, but the place of display. But if I'm being put on display, what year is this? Then the 11 disciples left for Galilee, going to the place of exhibition where Jesus had told them to go. Y'all can't say that Bishop is not talking to God. Amen. This is the Great Commission. This is the Great Commission. Is when Jesus gave the disciples instructions to go. The Great Commission can be summed up with one word, 2 letters, go. And go out to the nations, to everywhere, all the world, to preach the gospel. Amen. The Great Commission. If there's nothing else, this is what we're called to do. We may be able to sing well, but if nothing else, this is what you're called to do. You may be able to dance well, but if nothing else, this is what you've been called to do. No matter what your gifts are, even if you don't know if you have any gifts, if nothing else, this is what we've been called to do. Amen. And so it's the building block for the kingdom. Like the kingdom can't grow if we don't go get people. It's the building block for the kingdom, but if we do it wrong, it can be to the detriment of the kingdom. You know, it reminds me of the Cosby Show. There was an episode, I don't know if anybody used to look at the Cosby Show like I did and grew up on the Cosby Show. It was the episode when Vanessa, y'all know Vanessa was a little flighty, and she brought home Dabness. Y'all remember Dabness Bricky? Yeah, she went to college for 1 year and brought home a man. And Claire and Heathcliff weren't pleased because they had not heard anything about this man. All right? So, and then you come to find out that not only was she engaged to this man, his parents knew about her. So they're not pleased. So they're sitting at the dinner table and Bill says, you know what, Dabness? I just want to let you know we do not like you. I want y'all to catch that. We do not like you. And he said, I want you to understand, it's not because you're a maintenance man, you're not this, that, and the third. You could have been a banker, and we still would not like you. And he said, the reason is, and if you want to blame anybody, blame Vanessa. And he said, so he said, well, okay, Dabness, what's your favorite food? He said, steak. And he said, wait, what's your size? You want something with your steak? He said, yeah, he said, crispy potatoes. He said, all right. He said, I'm cooking steak. I cook it the way you want it. Got the crispy potatoes, sauteed mushrooms. You like sauteed mushrooms? He said, yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, yeah, I'm cooking it. You're smelling it. Boy. You know how Bill Cosby do, right? And so he said, I got your food ready, and I go to the trash can and pick up the lid off the trash can. And I put your steak, and I put your potatoes, and I put your mushrooms on the trash can lid and serve it to you. And he said, it's not appetizing, is it? And of course he said, no, sir. And he said, well, that's how she brought you in here, on a garbage can lid. And I remember when I was looking at that show, God said, clear as day. And that's how a lot of people are serving my word. On a garbage can lid. And we're expecting people to eat it. And see, and the crazy thing about it, you can take that analogy and keep going different places with it. You can even get sick for those who decide to eat it when you decide to eat off of a garbage can lid.